What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well, and thank you so much for popping into this review of a film that's celebrating a 20th anniversary. Just like Star Wars Revenge of the Sith celebrated a 20th anniversary, and I did a review for that big re release. It's my favorite film of all time. Well, Madagascar, certainly not one of my favorite films of all time, and after rewatching it, I'll just say off the bat, this is not a top 10 DreamWorks film for me, but it's certainly a top 20 DreamWorks film. If you look at like my top 10, which I'm probably going to share, at least my top five, I'm going to share that after the Bad Guys 2 review, which I'll be posting tomorrow night, very late tomorrow night. But when that goes up, I'm gonna kind of give my DreamWorks, tiny DreamWorks rankings at the end of that. But Madagascar would be in like the 10 through 20 range. And that's the film we're talking about today because The Bad Guys 2 is coming out. And, there's a lot of these sequels coming out and reboots and things coming out. Last year I did it with the Alien movies. When Romulus came out, I watched all the Alien films and reviewed them all. And I've only ever seen like one or two of them. Same thing for like the Karate Kid movies this year, the Naked Gun movies, both series that I've only seen the one Karate Kid film before I did all that. And then with the Naked Gun, haven't seen any of them. And I fell in love with both of those series, by the way. That original Karate Kid is probably a top 20 film of all time for me. And The Naked Gun is probably my favorite comedy trilogy. I mean, I'm so happy that I'm going back down and watching these films. But now, Madagascar. So let's talk about it. So in 2005, the studio, had just started getting into 3D animated films. They were still producing 2D. I've not seen Sinbad, and I've not seen like half of DreamWorks movies, to be honest with you. There was a point in like 2014 to 2020, or earlier around that time, somewhere around there, that I just wasn't watching DreamWorks movies anymore because they just weren't interesting to me. It felt like films that should have been released to the Disney Channel or Nickelodeon or something. Like when I saw trailers for like films like Home with Jim Parsons as the Martian, I don't know, it didn't hook me, and I saw trailers for like Peabody and Sherman. What the heck is that? Ruby Gilman, the Teenage Kraken? Come on, give me a break. But they tend to release the occasional banger. And the studio, for me anyway, is at its peak right now since its heyday. You know, you've got films like The Wild Robot and Dogman coming out back to back. Even Kung Fu Panda 4 I liked. I didn't think it was a bad movie at all. I liked it. I just didn't think it was good as the first three. And then you had the other two I mentioned, which I loved, The Wild Robot and Dogman. Bad Guys 2, maybe I'm going to feel the same way about it as I did with Kung Fu Panda 4. I don't know. We'll see. The trailers haven't really hooked me for this. They look okay. They look funny. But I just watched that Zootopia 2 trailer today that they just released, the new one. And I think that movie looks phenomenal. The trailer is good. It sells the story. It seems really visually appealing. Bad Guys 2, as of right now, feels like a cash grab to me. And I don't feel like that for a lot of sequels. But the trailers to this, thought it looked okay, but I'm thinking they're doing it solely for the money. I don't think they really had another story on their hands. They're like, okay, let's do this. Now, I could be wrong, but I mean, I like the Bad Guys. The first Bad Guys I liked probably just as much as Kung Fu Panda 4. I think they're good movies, not great movies. But you want to know what's better than these films that I'm mentioning, the 4 out of 5 films, the Kung Fu Panda 4 and the original Bad Guys? It's Madagascar. Yeah, that film is the heyday I'm talking about. Madagascar at the time was like right in my childhood. And I remember seeing this in the theater, the same theater I go to now. Obviously, the seats are all recliners now and it's digital projection. But I remember going to see this in the theater and enjoying it and really having a fun time with it, because what I think that the takeaway from this film is, why I don't think it's great, is because the story's fine, but I think it moves at kind of a sluggish pace here and there. There's some moments of great entertainment, but I don't think the whole film has me as hooked as some of these other DreamWorks movies, but it's the characters that keep you along, and it's the voice acting that keep you along, and the dynamics and the relationships. Alex and Marty, the characters, I mean, continue to evolve, and their friendship begins to deteriorate and, grow back together and deteriorate. It moves in a lot of interesting ways. And I think that that's a strength of the movie is the story and plot is always moving. At the beginning of the film, sure, they set him up because he loves the steak and he's a meat eater, obviously. But then you see in the end of the film, the story is now the storyline of the film. We've just lost a friend because he has now become one of the jungle. He is now the predator. So we got to get out of here. And it continues to push these characters into really interesting directions. And I think that's just the best part. The characters of the movie are great. I think they are all likable, lovable, funny. The humor, I mean, there's humor in this movie. There's adult humor in this movie that a lot of animated films nowadays, they just don't have the gonads to do. This film did it. The animation was really beautiful for the time. I mean, does it hold up now? Not really, which I think is a good thing because it makes it feel more classic and old and just like it's been here for a long time. And I hope they do go on to do another one. I did read somewhere that there was talks of doing a Madagascar 4, but it took them forever to do Madagascar 3. So now that, with the success of the Kung Fu Panda films and the Wild Robot sequel coming out and Shrek 5 coming out, I mean, who knows if there's going to be room for another one of these films. I'm sure there will be room if they kind of stop making Ruby Gillmans and Gabby Dollhouse and all these other weird little films. Make things that people want to see. Madagascar is something I would want to see because I love these characters. Hans Zimmer's score is better than it should be. This score is phenomenal. That score is just, it's awesome. I mean, it's so re-listenable. The penguins are great. They work best as side characters. I didn't really care for their solo film, and that's probably what turned me off from the studio at the time, is because that solo film was just so not great. I mean, I think the Minions movie is probably better than the Penguins movie, but none of them needed movies. I mean, they work better as supporting characters, and they're funny, and they are also a reason why the story is moving. The story continues to move forward because all the characters have involvement, and I thought that was really cool. And I liked the humor. I liked the ending. I loved the line where he's like, "Oh well, should we tell them the boat's out of gas?" They decide not to tell them, and I'm thinking, wow, that's like really tragic, because these animals were stranded. One of them almost turned into eating his friends, and now they're going to be deserted on the ocean. But then they made a second movie, so they're going to be okay. But at the time, you're like, oh my god! Like I know it's a gag, but it's kind of a sick gag. There's a lot of sick gags in this film, but Madagascar certainly a top 20 DreamWorks film. It's very good. It is entertaining, slows down at points, but it has a charm. The characters are there. The script is really good. Feels really fresh. The characters are really well realized. Madagascar, yeah, it's 4 out of 5 star film for me. Really enjoyed it, and I'm happy to now own it on 4K. And if I'm talking about DreamWorks on 4K right now, I just want to kind of share my collection that I have of DreamWorks 4K Blu-rays. I don't have every release they did, like the Croods movies. I didn't really care for the first Croods. I don't think it's very rewatchable. So I didn't get those films. I didn't even see the second one. The Prince of Egypt. All these look great on 4K, by the way. The studio's doing a great job. Shrek, this is a steelbook. Shrek 2, I have them kind of by release, the release of the year. And then we have the one we're talking about now, Madagascar. Shrek the Third, which looks phenomenal on 4K. It makes that Blu-ray, it puts it to sleep, really. Kung Fu Panda on 4K. I'm trying to pre-order that Kung Fu Panda 2, which is coming out soon on 4K, but the thing is unavailable currently on Amazon. So, How to Train Your Dragon, 4K Steelbook, Shrek Forever After. Puss in Boots, a film I've still never seen. How to Train Your Dragon 2. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. This is also why DreamWorks is in their prime right now, and The Wild Robot. So I still have to get Kung Fu Panda 4. I plan on picking up The Bad Guys. I did have that for a little bit, but I think I might have ended up selling it. Could have been an accident because I don't know why I would do that. You know, it's a better film. I only kind of sell. I don't want to get into that. It's too depressing. And that's it, guys. That's my thoughts on Madagascar, and I'm very excited for The Bad Guys 2. I hope it's good. I'm always excited to see a DreamWorks film nowadays. So I'm really hoping that it's good and potentially better than the first one. I like the voice performances. The animation looks okay, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter and or X at Ranking72 and Instagram at KingOfRises131. That's been it for me. Thank you so much for watching my review for Madagascar. And until next time, over and out.